Hi Libra, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your seasonal tarot check for the months of May, June, July, and August. This is for all Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and I'm so appreciative of all of you who have subscribed and been watching my channel and liked and commented and shared my videos. I really appreciate you, and I want to thank you for doing that. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and if you hit the bell, you'll be notified when new videos are posted, and that's about once a week. However, the seasonal check is right on the heels of a weekly check. It's only a couple days apart. So I definitely try to continue to post new content and new readings as much as I can. So here we go for May, June, July, and August for all Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Here we go for Libra. We start off here with May, and we begin with the Death card. And we go into the Emperor, the Six of Wands. That's been showing up a lot. Interesting. The Hanged Man. This is June. You have the King of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and then the Six of Cups. Into July, you start off with the Sun, the Five of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Four of Swords. You begin August with the Ten of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the Tower, and then you end on the Nine of Pentacles here. So let's take these cards in a little bit. We have Scorpio, Aries, Fire, Water, Leo, Air, and Earth. We have all the elements, but just kind of at first blush, I wonder if some of you are dealing with a fire sign. Certainly Leo, Aries, Sagittarius could be, because you have Leo and Aries here, so plus a lot of wands. I think that you're coming out of this time of being in a global dark night of the soul with a pandemic. I mean, talk about an equalizer. We have had a worldwide equalizer come through. Every place in the world is affected by this. It is a profound impact on every area of our lives. And through this, it's transformative. I think for some of you, you may be experiencing a real spiritual transformation where you've gone down deep and connected with your source energy and are really intuitively guided right now. You're in sync more than maybe you've ever been. So follow your intuition, follow the guidance that you know is there for you. And this is still in May. You have such confidence and even authority. And I don't know if some of you might get a promotion, like into a management position. Again, I'm getting the sense of authority, like you're in charge of a lot of people, you're making important decisions, and you're making the right decisions. So I don't feel like for you necessarily in May, love is a predominant energy, but I do think you've got great success at work. You've got the Six of Wands, and the only caution with this is it's a really happy and great card. Don't get me wrong on that, but it's a great card in career or in love. But sometimes it can kind of mean that you can't rest on your laurels. Like the work has to continue. So know that you're successful, but that you've got to continue to put forth the effort to maintain it. But it's like great abundance is coming towards you. And again, I feel like that's with money and career. You have the Hanged Man here also, and the Hanged Man represents surrender to win. The Hanged Man is all about going within, and there may be some kind of a turning point where you adopt a new philosophy on how you do things in terms of work, where there were things that in the past you might not have fully agreed with, but you are now, because we're all learning to do things and adapt and do things a little differently than maybe we have. But it is a time of great awakening and great spiritual awakening. It's also a time where you know your own path. You're really like you're gaining a different perspective, but it's like the Hanged Man turns the world on its head, by the way that he turns himself upside down. So I do feel like you're on a wonderful track here as you begin in May with work. You definitely are bringing in love. This is in June. You have this King of Cups. For some of you, it's new love, but some of you definitely have a partner who's coming back around. I think you got a couple of options here. You may have both happening, quite frankly. I don't always get that, but I definitely feel like you're going to have some decisions to make here. One of them may live far away. They may be at a distance from you. But, I feel like you've got kind of a conflicted thing in a way, because you've got this very mature energy in this King of Cups, somebody who's stable, who's loving, who's, sincere. They're true to themselves, they're integrous, and they could be a real match. I mean, they really could be it's like we're talking about life partner material there. And you also have this soulmate connection. Again, with work, I think this can imply that you are stable. You've got things are in flow. But with love, this is a soulmate, and it's a real reciprocal energy. You love them and are attracted to them, and they love you. But where I feel like there is a bit of an issue is there's somebody else that wants to come back around that gives you pause. And, there may have been just kind of an abrupt ending, or it just kind of seemed like it was a shorter term relationship, and they're interested too, and that may cause a bit of a conflict here. So you go into this and you start to, that was how that was. You've got this Nine of Wands, and this is all about weighing the options. And that's where I think this becomes somewhat conflicted, because you've got these choices and options, and you're not sure what to do. But I do think it causes a little bit of a delay, like you're not really interested in juggling two people, but you also don't want to make a choice and regret that decision. So let your intuition guide you. You have the Six of Cups, and again, this is where I feel like it is somebody from the past who's also interested, and there's going to be competition. The Six of Cups is all about nostalgia, and it's a sentimental longing. This person, I think, has been thinking about this for a while, but the last few months, several months of quarantine have really thrown miracle grow on that desire. And it's like when you're in isolation and your mind is going, they had kind of the squirrel cage effect. The other person does not give off that energy. But you begin July here in a beautiful energy, and the sun comes out and shines the truth on everything. I'm inclined to think you're going to pick somebody that's more stable. I don't know that you're going to go back to this other person just because of some instability in how their lifestyle is. That's what I'm getting. But you have victory here. You've got victory with this card, but also the Six of Wands. And I definitely think in work you are going to have a lot of success. Finances will be very good, to the point that you may even be starting to plan a trip in August. But overall, July begins with even, I think some celebratory things where you haven't been able to, go out or do things because of the restrictions. I do think you have an ability to go away, maybe to like the beach or something for the weekend there. This is the conflict I see, this 5, but it's short term. I think you're going to have to make a decision, because there's going to be this turmoil about you, around you, until you do that. And it's not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. I think they both need to be told, not about each other necessarily, but the one you don't want needs to be told it's not going to work, because they keep trying and pushing. You definitely have a very celebratory energy in July with these Three of Cups. And again, this is about reunion. And so I think that for some of you, where it's somebody from the past, this reunion isn't so significant for them as much as it is about reuniting with the rest of your life, with about things that you've missed, like just all those little things, like you feel like going into a Starbucks and looking at, the baked good case and things like that, or just calling up to get your hair done, without thinking, how many more weeks am I going to be able to handle this outgrowth? Am I going to stop looking like who people think I am? It's more of that kind of a sense of even seeing some family members. I think I mentioned before, I do feel like there's a little bit of a distance here with somebody that you're dating, and I think that's where this signifies, where it's just trying to get on track with that and trying to figure out the best way to manage it. But overall too, this can be a good time if there is a conflict to make sure that you're getting very balanced and stable, making sure that you reflect and relax and just kind of step away from any battles. That's what this is about. So you have that Five of Wands. This is your advice to step away from it. You don't have to participate in every fight you're invited to. And you also you don't have to do things just to please other people, even if they're pressuring you to do it. You have one life to live here, and our destiny here is to be happy. There will be pain in life, but suffering is optional. We don't have to choose that for ourselves. So you come into August with this 10 of Wands, and it's like it's time to put the burdens down. I do think that you've had, like I said, something at work where you possibly were promoted, and it may have taken you a couple months to kind of figure out your role, to figure out your responsibilities, and you're getting it. You're really getting in sync with work here, and I think that will be a lot less burdensome for you. You do, again, with this decision, I do think you have some residual impacts. This is like analysis paralysis. Boy, am I getting uncoordinated today. I don't know what that is. Analysis paralysis and just trying to juggle. And, I think part of it is work, but it's also this relationship and trying to figure out the best way to manage both components. This person may travel some too for work. That might be with the distances, that they're traveling a lot and then they come back at like odd times during the week, and it's just trying to figure that out. But I do think that the parts of you that were kind of distant or unattached, you were single, not attached, that is being blown away. It's time to get open. It's time to be open to love, to letting people in, to just enjoying companionship and knowing that it can really, build you rather than be something that takes away from you. Because this is really a time to release your ego, and it's about releasing like oppression from within, releasing any kind of old attitude or behavior. So, it's a big shakeup. It really is. But I feel like for you, it's more of a spiritual shakeup. And know that the universe always brings us something when we have the Tower. It's always here to bring in something good. Now, you do have the single lady card here. I do feel like you have a new love that is available to you, but it just might not be somebody who's consistently here all the time or in your surroundings. This is definitely about physical manifestations and wealth. So this is somebody with prominence. And so you are, you've got an opulence, you've got class, you've got dignity, you've got, presentation that really draws people in. And again, you may be finding too that you're able to, once the economy is more predictable, or we're all more situated in our own economic circumstances, you may find that you've got some extra money because you've been prudent with finances and been careful and finding that the money that came in is available to you. So this is a Whispers of Love oracle. We're going to do another reading just on the love aspects of this reading. This card represents you. This is the other person. This is the two of you together. Interesting. And this is the guidance for the relationship. So you have here that represents you, ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. So with this whole situation, this may be a time for you to just know when extra help is needed. This is all about self-awareness. And when you know yourself, you know the universe. So just be mindful of that, because if you're thinking, I've got this relationship, you've got a lot of uncertainty in it in terms of what to do. You may need to find somebody, even like a therapist, somebody that's not biased, to talk to about some of this stuff and figure it out. But the other person, their card, it's such a beautiful card too. Actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. So for this person, it really emphasizes the power of communication, the positive power, and two, the security that can be fostered in a relationship. So for them, they feel more secure when they're with somebody else. They can be single, but they really like to be in a relationship. They really enjoy it. They'd rather be in a couple than be single. It's just their preference. So just let you know, they're definitely destined to be in some kind of relationship. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. So we get what we think about, and we attract what we are. So for this is the two of you together. This is a card of hope, and it's a reminder that magic is readily at hand when you shift into a place of positive patience. So for some of the conflict, just staying on that positive path will really help to alleviate what could be stressful but doesn't have to be. So your guidance in this is to speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change lives, including your own. So, we just want to be aware of what we say to people, and knowing that our words have a vibration. When we have meaning behind those words, it can certainly send out some kind of a vibration that may not always match up exactly what we say. So trust your ability to speak the truth in a loving manner with this. So that's your seasonal reading, Libra, and I will be back in about a week for a May reading. I love you so much, and I will see you then.